yourself here. Mosaic me divine. Trust the magic and glue in my reassemble to turn the shatter of your glass into an art the gods will crave. Slide midnight into my right shoulder. I can be so bare, nothing will wish to escape. Lace your kiss in wanderlust. Spread constellations wherever you find rest. This is how you fashion a galaxy. How a body turns celestial. Place all your blues in the sky of me. In return, take this heel in lavender to clothe you safe. When you are gone, know that I will continue to blow breeze and comets for you, the way only a boundless heaven knows how to. I am so excited to be here. I'm very nervous as well.
Drink some water.
Hello. But I'm happy that I get to share these extreme emotions with all of you. V asked me to feature in, I think it was March. I posted a haiku. I posted a haiku on Facebook, and that's the only thing that she read. And then she said, "What can you feature?" And all she had read was a haiku. And I said, I don't know, maybe around my birthday because it was March and August was so far away. And then we kind of just left it at that. And then I was here in April, and she asked again, "When can you feature?" And again, I said around my birthday because it was April and August was still so far away. And then she pulled out her schedule. She was like, "So how's the 27th?" And I was like, "That's like right by my birthday." So I was like, "Okay, yeah, I can do that." And I've been terrified since. But this is, aside from the fact that it's my birthday, aside from the fact that it was me that asked me, this is my first feature. And around this time last year, I started this really hectic and overwhelming and gorgeous journey, I guess, with my health and my body and relationships with people. And when I start explaining it, doesn't sound that gorgeous, but then there's poems, and then that will make more sense. So I will do some stories, I will do some poems in between, and all in all, it will be from last year up until where I am now. So last year, around July, I started getting a lot of pain in my shoulder and my armpit, and I didn't really, I wasn't really concerned because I had just changed things in my life, so I figured that it was just stress and that I just was a little weak. So I didn't really get to worry, but then in July, towards the end of July, I was in San Diego, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I realized that I couldn't see my clavicle at all, my left clavicle, and then it was hurting that weekend, and then I came back home and it was fine. In August, towards the end of, towards the beginning of August, I got a little bump in the, next to my ear, and then after a couple of days that went away, and then I got a little bump in the back of my head, but that would hurt a little bit more, and that was around the 15th of August, and I was scheduled to go to San Francisco for the weekend, and the 15th was a Thursday, and I was leaving that Friday. So I knew that I didn't want to go to San Francisco and worry about pain, so I went into Kaiser on the 15th, and I said that I had these little bumps, and I was like, well, while I'm here, I also can't see my clavicle. So then they told me that they were going to do some tests. They drew blood, and then they did a CT scan. And after they did the CT scan, the doctor came into the room and told me that my lymph nodes were really enlarged, and that it was causing so much pressure in my chest that I had blood clots in my blood vessels. So he asked to admit me into the hospital that same day. And he very lightly said that the reason why was because of the blood clots, but also because he thought that it might be lymphoma, and that he needed to do a biopsy the following day as immediately as possible so we could figure out what it was. And when he said it was lymphoma, I didn't know what that meant. So he walked out the room, and then I was in the room with Donnie, and he's an internet physician, among other internet things. And so I was like, I don't know what lymphoma is. And then he also very calmly said, oh, it's cancer, and if that's what it is, then you have to treat it with either chemo, radiation, or both. And he said it very calmly, but I still know enough to know what cancer is. So no one in my family's ever had cancer, or one of my uncles did, but I was too small, and I've never experienced my biggest fear up until then was death. So I was terrified, and at the same time I didn't have any other option but to go with the motions of it. So I was admitted into the hospital. That was, again, a Thursday. That Friday we had to reschedule our trip. My family came. They did the biopsy that same day. Later in the day, one of the oncologists came and spoke to me, and she told me that she was going to meet with me the following week to tell me what the results were. And in that weekend, I started this process of being passed over from like pair of hands to pair of hands. And it sounds a little harsh, it sounds like a lot, but truthfully, everyone at Kaiser is so gentle and so kind, and every procedure that I've had, it was almost enjoyable. I feel weird saying that, but